Hello guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. As you remember, 2 weeks ago I mixed a song completely analog, and last week I mastered it completely analog. So today I thought that I should take the same song and mix it how I normally would mix, so we could compare how it differs to mix it in the modern way compared to the old school way. And of course, many of you have asked me to do more of these tutorials when I'm mixing, or I don't know if this is tutorial. It's more you can see how I mix. I don't tell you this is how you should do stuff, but at least it's nice to read your comments and see that some of you actually learning something from watching me mixing and taking some of the ways I do it to your own mixes and have had great results. So thank you so much for all those nice comments. But yes, I thought we should dive in and check what the material sounds like when it's completely unmixed. Nothing is even labeled here. I pretend now that this is a band that have sent me these mixes. I mean this mix for or I mean these tracks for a mix. So what I would do now is I can just label them quickly here. Tom 1, Tom 2, floor, overheads, bass, git left, git right, keys, vocals. And this will be even more interesting because now, as you can see, we are really limited with the tracks. These are we can move these to the side. This is the analog mix and this is the analog master that I did, but we can compare them later. Anyway, sometimes I actually get from some bands not more tracks than this, because this is everything that they felt their music needs, and for me it can be also really refreshing to see that you don't need more tracks than this to make a song. And for me to still get it to sound as big as possible, it's a nice challenge for me, and it's also really refreshing that I don't have to go through 45 tracks with keyboards and 16 tracks with drums, 4 tracks with bass, quad track guitars, etc. No, it's very basic. One kick, one snare, 3 toms, stereo overheads, 1 track bass, 2 tracks guitars, 1 stereo track with keyboards, and 1 vocal track. So here we go. Let's see what the tracks sounds like. This is the kick drum. Snare. Tom 1. Really nice recorded, because it's I have been the one recording it. Yes, and floor tom. Nice. The overheads. Bass. And the guitar sounds like this. Keyboards. Vocals. Sounds like this.
Shadows and birds! The time has come!
recorded with this shitty microphone, so it will be a challenge. Not a challenge, but I need to treat it in a way so it works. Alright, let's start grouping up something here so we can start with the drum mix, I think. And as I always do, I start with the kick, then snare, then toms and overheads, doing a little blend so we can continue working with the rest of the instruments. So here we go. This is, by the way, now not pre-gated, so I will gate these a little bit and show how I normally do when I receive tracks. Drum leveler. Let's make it consistent like this. Alright, then we take my favorite drum plugin all time, Telos drums. Yeah, we can start around here. And drum leveler after that. By the way, I bought this plugin that they just released a couple of months ago. This one, Oxford Drumgate 2. I have not yet really learned it, so I will go with the plugins I have been using now for some years, so I get a better workflow. Alright, and then we take the Telos drums again. Let's go here, loop section. As you notice, I did not record a bottom snare or spot microphones on ride and hi-hat this time, because when I did this song, it was mainly to do with the analog mixing, and I wanted to do it in the really old school way, really limited with microphones. I mean, I was lucky that I had 7 microphones to put on a drum kit. Back in the days they had like 4 kick, snare and 2 overheads, and 1 track for bass, etc. I wanted to do it in the most traditional 90s way as possible, so that's why I don't have more channels to work with this time. But I will show you, it's still possible to get a pretty good sound. So let's name this drums. Yeah, let's take the first tom here. Yes, and the next tom. That should be good. Then we pan them something like 40, 40 and maybe 80, so they're a little bit wider. That's nice. And then we can do in context the mixing of the toms, I think. Because now when we're so limited with the drum tracks, if I start to not blend it too much with the overheads, it will sound kind of thin. So I think this time I will mix it a little bit different than I normally do the drums, and mix the tracks to sound more together with the overheads and not make the overheads completely only cymbals, if you know what I mean. And that means that I will try to not make everything sound so isolated by themselves. So then we take the next tom together with the first tom, something like this. Open up telos here as well. And also not to make the toms too boomy, so they sound more like they are part of the overheads. Let's see how this sounds now. A little bit more punch there. Yeah, something like that. Telos drums on floor tom as well. Alright, let's start adding some reverbs. Snare, rev, and toms, rev. Then make a group for the toms. And check a little bit the low end control. Alright, and then we take the snare to the reverb, adding my favorite chain, first an EQ that goes into this reverb. This one is really good for snare drums. And then I know it will go into a stereo compressor. And then it will go into a final EQ to shape the tail a little bit. So here we go. Alright. Then into this. Yeah, we can start like that, and then for the toms, I like to do the same thing, an EQ into a reverb, into a fast compressor, into a final EQ. Then we bypass those. Receive toms there. Then we can take probably here. Because it's black metal, it needs to be big reverbs. Yeah, that's a pretty good starting point. Let's listen only the drums now here. Alright, let's introduce some bass here. I take all the drums, including the effects for the drums, so I can treat them as one package now.
The time has come! Shadows and birds! The time has come! He shall rise again! Ugh. Shadows and birds! The time has come! He shall rise again! Ugh.
Maybe some suit on those vocals.
Shadows and birds! The time has come. It shall rise again. Shadows and bears. The time has come. It shall rise again.
And then we start producing some effects on those vocals, so we start to hear how they will melt with the rest of the tracks. And my favorite combination, ping pong delay into reverb.
Shadows and bears. The time has come. It shall rise again. Shadows and bears. The time has come. It shall rise
Yes, and at this point I like to group bass and guitars and keyboards into one group like this, call it the band. And then we take the vocal track here and put it to 3x4, adding suit to this sidechain. And now we can make so everything is ducking as soon as the vocals kicks in. I will demonstrate. And now when I'm listening this in solo, it's easier for me also to shape the EQ for the vocals so it doesn't sound too shit. And then also some multi-band compression. Yeah, let's play around also a little bit with the master bus, so I can start doing more the fine tweaks. And one way that I have been using the master bus is to start with some low end control, just to keep those bigger bass frequencies in control, around 100 hertz, and just a little bit to take care of this. So now when we adding the compressor, the SSL, it behaves in a much better and controlled way, I would say. So let's try to dial it in. Yep, now when I have that almost dialed in, I start to hear what I still need to fix and balance. So I just continue and you can watch. Alright, I think that we can start with some automation. And let's start with the kick drum. Here I also want the snare reverb to come up a little bit. Same here. Tom reverbs definitely here. Little bit EQ still on those, I can hear. Let's just add another one. Yes, and then we move on to bass. Yes, and then we take guitars. Alright, and then we have keyboards. Alright, and then we have vocals left. Alright, let's do something interesting now. Let's compare this song to the analog mix I did. I will just open and take it here. This one, and then we go back. Digital mixing. And then we make a new track there, paste it here, bypass also all the plugins. This is the mix from 2 weeks ago when I did the analog mixing. Sounds really 90s. Yeah. Now we have that as a reference. How does the new mix sound when it's mixed on the computer with plugins? Analog and digital. So what do you guys think? Which sounded better? The analog mixed version or the digital mixed version? If I say my opinion already, it's just a matter of taste, to be honest. You know, I have been listening to 90s analog mixed black metal for 20 years or more. I mean, when I hear this analog version that I did 2 weeks ago, it brings me back, you know. It feels like I'm in the early days when I just discovered black metal. You know, I would say that it has this nostalgia vibe, and this modern sounds probably better, more balanced. But also, does it actually sound more dangerous compared to the analog version when you are limited to what you can do? If you listen one more time, just the blast beat section here. This is the modern version. And then we try again with the analog version. Do you see what I mean? It sounds really dangerous, the analog version, because it doesn't follow any rules that I should stay in this box. No. Analog is analog. I don't know if you agree with me here, but this is what I feel listening back to this now when I can compare it to the plugin mixed version compared to the analog mixed version. Listen one more time. Analog version. And then we take the plugin version. Yeah, it has much more power, more energy. And of course it sounds dangerous, but not in the same way. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me, or if you have other opinions, or just in general, which version do you prefer of these two tracks? Alright, but I think this mix is done here for today. Next week I will be mastering this new mixed version with the plugins and compare it to the master I did with the analog gear, and then we can do the same comparison again and see which one do we actually prefer. Do we prefer the analog or digital? We will see next week. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you like to see more content like this. Thank you and bye.